What's up, everybody? It's your boy King Hustle. Yes, this is the best money and credit channel on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell. So whenever I drop new sauce, new lessons, new methods, and giveaways, you'll be the first one to be notified. You'll be the first one to know what's going on. And hey, you might be the first one to win something for free. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell on all the YouTube channels. Also, make sure you follow me on my Twitch, King Hustle Live. I do all my freebies and giveaways from those YouTube channels and the Twitch. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell so you won't miss out on nothing. Also, make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. All you gotta do is click the title on every video. Once you click the title on every video, at the bottom of the description, all my social media links will pop up. All right. Got a lot of fake King Hustle pages out there, so please get a FaceTime verification call or video to make sure you see this face. Make sure you are doing legit business and you are getting what you paid for. All right. And before we get anything started, this is all educational purposes only, not telling anybody to do anything. So let's get this thing started. Hey, let's get this thing started. Hey, what to do, my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, my real Hustle Nation Empire family members, and we are back at it again with the gems, back at it again with the sauce, back at it again with the information that's gonna turn you into a boss. So you tired of being a zero? You ready to be a family hero? Listen up, take a seat, get your notepad and get your pen, because you already know when I drop these videos, get them notifications. There's gonna be some information that's gonna help you win, keep you informed, or keep you entertained. So with that being said, you know how we get down over here on this channel. We're gonna be talking about the new bank scams, the new bank methods, the new bank fraud, the new scams, the new fraud that's going on in today's world. Because there's a lot going on in this dark world, and there's a lot of people that have been brainwashed or have been watching this type of activity go on for numerous of years now, about 6, 7 years on social media, and now they're in a position where they want to try it out. A lot of people need money. A lot of people want money. And a lot of people want to do the less work to get the most amount. So if they've been scrolling up and down social media for the past 6 years, seeing people flash hundreds and thousands of dollars saying, oh, I did this method, oh, I did that method, this glitch, this load, that load, got this Bible, did all these different things. At some point in time, somebody's going to be interested in trying it out. Now, with these with these new methods and with this new generation, it's a lot of new things going on. And with the evolution of the world and how businesses make it easier for the customer or the consumer to do certain things, they're also making it easier for the scammers and the fraudsters to commit their crimes also. Because the exact same way that people and the consumers are doing whatever that they want to do, from opening up bank accounts and getting loans, credit cards, lines of credit, apartments, cars, so on and so on, the scammers and the fraudsters are doing it the exact same way, just with fraudulent information. So this new check scam, it was not a new check scam, or it's just it's really a new way that scammers have been utilizing this method with check scams. Now we all know it's tech fraud and it's real time fraud. Real time fraud is when you're doing something in real time. Tech fraud is where you're in the technical world doing tech things with softwares, databases, servers, compromise, and things like that. So people are starting to get more knowledge about checks, get more knowledge about how banks verify checks. So by them having that knowledge, they're now figuring out ways how to bypass that security. Now, what people are doing because of the dark web sells certain information. And as the world evolves, the scams and the methods evolve. Wherever there's money being made, there's going to be some type of scam or fraud being committed. Now, checks are not as complex as people think. There are people out there that think harder and not smarter, meaning that there are people out there that search and find and look for or try to go anywhere to find bank checks paper, like the real bank check paper. They go try to find all that. They're just doing too much, right? And people don't understand that banks don't print their own checks. They go through third party companies to create their checks for them. And most of those third party companies also sell personal checks. So people do their research. They find these third party companies that sell checks. Now, the information on the bottom of the checks is the account number and the route number. The account number where the money's coming out of, and the route number of the bank of the account that the money is coming out of, right? So a lot of people understand that information. So back, like, till this day, there are people who will rob mailboxes, that will rob mail carriers, that will get jobs in postal offices to be able to have the opportunity to get a hold of checks, buy intersect checks, to because at the end of the day, when they get a check, they're paying somebody, and at the bottom of the check is the account and route number that money is coming out of. So if they're paying somebody, that means there's some money in there. So there's a lot of different ways that the scammer or the fraudster will try to utilize that check. Either they might try to get a fake ID to match the name on that check, so they won't have to touch the check, or they might wash the check, meaning that they might change the number on the check, like add a zero, add a one, to keep everything the same. But when you start changing information on checks, that's where the problems come, because when banks verify checks, they call and say, "Hey, do you have a checking number, blah blah blah, for the amount of blah blah blah." That's mostly what they do, because sometimes companies don't verify names. They can't verify names, so they ask that information. And most of the times, people make up when they do bad, like uneducated or beginner check fraudsters. They just make random checks and put random check numbers and think it's gonna go, and it's not. So people do their due diligence and they figure out. They say, okay, let's start getting these business checks, because businesses more than likely have hundreds of thousands of dollars, especially operating businesses, because they got to pay payroll and things. So that's why they start robbing the businesses' mailboxes to get the payroll checks, because some people still get checks. Then they say, okay, we got the dark web. We've been robbing checks. I mean, we've been robbing mailboxes and stuff like that. How can we make this easier? So there are, like I said, we all know that there are places on the dark web that you could buy information, people's fools, information that comes with this type of information, numbers and route numbers and things like that. Now, there are times where, in instances where, and it's always targeting the elderly people. So the elderly people be having 401ks and different life savers and things like that. So people come across these accounts that have 500 or plus more dollars in it. And once they see that account, they get that account number and that route number. They might just write it down. So when they write it down, they start making checks with that account and route number. They might go to these third party companies and get checks, just blank checks, with this information on it, get the check, and then go on the dark web or the computer and get certain bank templates or certain job templates. Like, you gotta understand, the world is not as complex as you think. Like, you can, like, there's people out here that got the same check as a Chase Bank or a Wells Fargo, but just different logos on it. It's the same color, same paper, same ink. It's just different logos on it. And like I said, third party vendors make a lot of banks and companies checks, and they be the exact same checks, just with different logos on it or different colors. So now that it's they have created a way for people to cash checks without even having to go into the bank, by basically taking a picture of the check. It's making it easier for the scammers and the fraudsters, because they don't got to go into the bank. The check is real, everything is real, and they just taking a picture. So they don't have a person that's verifying the check in front of you right away. No. And if the account is aged, the amount of the check is gonna clear faster. That's why a lot of people be like, who got this bank, who got that bank, blah 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 blah, because they be having these checks, and if somebody got an aged account, the amount's gonna clear faster and more is gonna clear. And because that's just the rule. Like, that's just every bank's rule, like government's rule, that they have to clear that check. So an X amount of the check until, you know what I'm saying? So it just all depends on the account. That's why people be maturing accounts, so they can have deposit these checks and get more of the check to clear. So people are starting to get a hold of account numbers and route numbers for a lot of different ways for checks. And there was an instance where somebody got away with $800,000 because they got a hold of somebody's account route number, an elderly man, and he was just creating checks with the account route number and just cashing them. and he got away with $800,000. So this check scam, this check wave is definitely still bubbling, still hot because it's still around. People still cash checks. Still people still get paid with checks. So if it's still around, people gonna figure out a way how to utilize it. So with that being said, it's just all about being more safe, being more cautious, and being more aware of what's going on in this real crazy world that we all are living in. Make sure you guys are getting your Norton Lifeline to monitor all your financial accounts and social media accounts to make sure no suspicious activity is going on. Make sure you guys and it also makes and it will also monitor the dark web to make sure none of your personal information is on there floating around. Make sure you guys are freezing your credit profiles, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experience so nobody can get anything in your name. Um, no loans, credit cards, lines of credit, no apartments, no cars, no nothing. Make sure you guys get new credit and debit card numbers every so often. We use our cards every day, all day, order, tap, swipe, you name it. We had the same cards for years. So just think about all the databases that these cards are on and think about all the database leaks, compromise, and hacks that are going on in this world. So getting a new card, getting new information will be a fresh start. The old information will no longer be valid. So if it was part of a compromise, leak, or hack, it wouldn't be valid and you'll be safe. All right. So make sure you guys are staying more safe, staying more cautious, and being more aware of what's going out there because a lot of people are falling a victim to these scams because they're in certain situations and they don't have the knowledge and the information of what's going on and they just go with anything. So be more safe, be more cautious, and be more aware of what's going on in this real crazy world that we all are living in. Shout out to all my Real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there because without y'all, there'd be no me. Y'all motivate me to keep going. Y'all motivate me to keep dropping the sauce. And y'all motivate me to keep y'all entertained. So shout out to all of y'all. Anybody out there that's tired of being broke because it ain't no joke, let's get to work. FaceTime one-on-one limited gyms are $1,000. But for limited time only, I'm doing them for 600. Yes, 600. Cash App or Bitcoin payment. Once the 600 is on your Cash App or Bitcoin balance, send me a screenshot. Let me know your payment ready, and we will go from there. All right, no screenshots, no replies, no 21 questions, and please do not yell me. Make sure y'all book y'all see on the webinars. 250. Make sure y'all book y'all see on the crypto tour and personal limited gyms 3,500. Make sure y'all book y'all see on the month long mentorship for a limited time only 750, and you get a free 1K load. So make sure y'all don't miss out on that. Make sure y'all checking out my vendor platforms on Telegram, the Potato App, and Discord, Millionaire World and Network. Still looking for people for the production company. Make sure y'all subscribe and hit the all notification bell on my YouTube channels, my Twitches, IGs, TikTok, Snapchats, and Discord. Make sure y'all checking out the crypto world because it's changing people's lives. And make sure y'all getting in where y'all fit in with these loads. All right, 120 and up. Send them screenshots when y'all ready. We're gonna go from there. And with that being said, it's your boy King Hustle. Y'all know how to get down in these videos. I will see you at the next lesson video or live. Peace.